Good morning, everybody. This is Jim Stark with RFS, and today Tally asked me to present our presentation on DragonSkin. Some of you may know me. I'm the district sales manager for the West Coast for RFS. I handle California to Alaska and Hawaii, so I'm your man in the entire area, and I'm very proud to be sitting here today to present DragonSkin to you. Today we're going to go over the introduction, some industry standards, going to introduce to you DragonSkin, some FAQ section, some of the approved DragonSkin accessories, and where RFS fits into a public safety network, and the questions and answer session. Since this is recorded, I don't think I'm going to get too many questions today, but we'll play it from there. Real quick, here's the product portfolio for RFS. As you can see, we take care of wireless infrastructures, we take care of transmission and distribution, microwave, and broadcast. So those are some of our products we offer. These is our locations across the United States where we manufacture a product. The nice thing about DragonSkin is it's made in the USA. That's the biggest piece of the puzzle on that page for us. Now we're going to talk about DragonSkin and the industry standards. Currently, the industry standards is what we need to understand. NFPA 72 requires pathway survivability requirements. What this is when a local AHJ enforces the requirements to have NFPA 72. Inside of NFPA 72, we'll go into details on the pathway survivability. Pathway survivability, there's 4 different levels. Level 0 basically says there is no requirement in the building. Pathway level 1, level 2, and level 3. Level 1 is when you get into a building in a new build solution where you can put conduit and concrete, build metal raceways, and 2-hour burned corridors for cable. That's great in a brand new solution, but then there's the retro designs where there is an existing building and you have to put a 2-hour survivability pathway in. And if you look right here, this here is a 2-hour fire rated CI cable or fire resistant cable. That's the niche that RFS has. We filled that by meeting the UL 2196 standards. And real quick, I'll go into UL 2196 a little bit later. Another ordinance out there that by the NFPA is 1221. And what this here is basically saying in the 2019 edition is they want a listed electrical CI protective system or fire rated cable. And we are UL listed and certified because here's our certifications that states that we are UL 2196 certified. I'll go into detail exactly what the 2196 entailed for us to comply to get these certificates. It's quite an intensive test program. Back to the pathways. Some of the ways that you can get these pathway survivabilities is, first one is a communication cable that's inside conduit or concrete. These are great in the green fields, as I mentioned earlier, where you can put the conduit inside the walls, and it's definitely 2-hour rated, and you would only have platinum cable inside of these locations. During some of these presentations I've given over the last couple months is the GCs and integrators have shared that a lot of times these conduits get crushed during installation or filled with concrete and makes it an uh-oh situation where the DragonSkin is a nice solution to come in and help them bypass where the conduit's been damaged. 2-hour burn soffits. That's a nice solution that's out there when you have the real estate in the building to do and build a path are usually in the neighborhood wide. It's a nice solution that's out there for you. Another option is called the fire wrap solution. What this is when they take a plenum cable, RFS I'm sure you're using, and you install it inside of a conduit, and then you do 5 wraps of this fire resistant material. And when you do that, these here come out quite big and intensive, and it's very much a pain to work with. These fire wraps aren't the best in the solution that the guys are wanting to run through multiple stories of a building and stuff like that. If you look here at the picture, you can see in the bottom right, that's not air conditioning ducting that you have in your attic. That's actually a conduit going from one floor to another floor in the solution. Ta-da, here we are, DragonSkin. That's why we're all here today. This is what you're looking for. The RFS Dragon solution is a retrofit design situation. When you got existing building that's requiring to be changed to 2-hour NFPA 72 standards, this is the option that makes the most sense for you. We're very proud of it. And why DragonSkin? Here we go. It's thinner. It protects up to 1850 degrees. It's safer because it emits no smoke. Flexible with a 7-inch bend radius. It's certified plenum rated, lightweight, lower cost of ownership, and the fastest installation options that are out there. This is what I said we'll come to. This is one of my favorite slides. If you look here on the picture on the left, this is the actual UL burn chamber in Chicago. We went there so we could get a certification, not a second certification, but the direct source where they want the standards to be. We were in on this wall with 5 runs of cable horizontal, 5 runs of cable vertical. They then hit the fire button and started the fire in there. They took it to 1450 degrees within 15 minutes. And then they ramped it up to 1850 degrees for the remaining 2 hours. Our cable was on that wall for the total of 2 hours at these extreme conditions. Not only that, they pushed this entire wall that you see here out to the right, and they then hit it with a fire hose for 5 minutes. What they wanted to do was make sure that our communication and circuit performance was living up to the standards during these conditions. So during the fire, it was tested and proven that our standards and attenuation, everything was good. And then to the next, when we hit the firewall, we had the testing still going on and everything existed after that. Shown here is 24 hours later, circuit integrity. The integrity of the cable was still good and performing to everyone's requirements. So let's put this in a real world picture. You're a fireman, you're running into the building on the left, you're starting to fight a fire, and comes down and knocks you out. So you could be in this building, they couldn't find you hours or 24 hours later, the communication system will still be working and they will be able to find you with some of the neat monitoring systems, or that you could still call out for help and say where you're at. So what's beautiful about that is RFS, this cable can save a life. It's kind of exciting to have a product that can do that for you. Other points that are really some of our value proposition is we're the first and only in-building certified cable without added metal conduit or extensive wrap or a building fire resistant enclosure. We simplify and accelerate and reduce the cost of installation, and we are the only standalone RF coax cable certified by UL. I'll repeat that one more time. We are the only ones that are certified by UL. Here's a real quick side-by-side comparison to some of the different options that are out there for you. You got the fire wrap, you got the 2-hour burn soffits, conduit and cement, and the DragonSkin. So if you look real basically, we're showing red is bad, green is good. So does our solution require conduit? No, the others do except for the soffit. Solution, we're .54. We're the smallest solution that's out there. Our cable is just a hair bigger than the standard plenum cable that you're using today. Flexible, we have a 7-inch bend radius, easy to use, fits in tight places, 0.34 weight, and 1.0 cost of ownership compared to the others. The only one that really compares with us is the cost of conduit and concrete. Here we do a cost comparison. This is a fun slide that goes through and lays out the cost of what your options are, because everyone gets an initial sticker shock when they hear of DragonSkin. But after we go through these slides, and these slides have been validated with different presentations across the United States with integrators, and they've assured me that our prices are reflective of the real world solutions. So if you look here, the 5-wrap solution that we talked about earlier, 1 foot would run you in the neighborhood of $235 for 1 foot of this material. So we pretended that we had a 100-foot project, so that would be $23,000 to do the buy the material. Then you would require conduit and RFS cable, of course, so you'd be in the neighborhood of another couple $400. Now it comes into the man hours. So using local labor rates of $150 an hour, it would take 25 man hours to wrap 5 wraps of this fire barrier wrap around 100 foot of cable. Taking that to $3,700 to do just the installation of the fire wrap. You would still need to install the conduit and pull the cable through. That would be another 12.5 hours. So you're looking at this project for the 5-wrap solution would be at $29,000. There's another solution out there that requires a 3-wrap solution, and so there's a cost savings between 5 wraps and 3 wraps. You would still require the conduit. This other cable that's out there is an HT cable, and it's got a cost of $33 a foot, somewhere in that area. So you're running with $3,000 for 100 foot. Then you look at the man hours. There is a manpower savings because you'd only require 20 hours of labor compared to what you were looking at earlier at 25. You would still have to install the conduit and pull the cable through, same cost there. This project would run in the neighborhood of 18,000. So you can see this project and using this solution was $10,000 cheaper. They were good, and they provided a niche for a while. Now you come into with DragonSkin. The MSRP is $135. I'm sure you can talk to Tally and they'll set you up with a good pricing, $100 or better. And with that, you would be at $10,000 for all the cable for this project. You would still have to get a conduit. You would not do any fire wrapping, and you would be at 12.5. So this project now would be in the neighborhood of $12,000 to do 100 foot compared to 18,000 or 29,000. Our cable is certified to be installed by itself. You wouldn't need it to be placed in a conduit, so that would do the savings there, and you wouldn't have to be installing conduit and pulling it through. So you'd be at 7.5 man hours. So you'd be at about $11,000 for the entire project. So in today's marketplace, I know when you're out there bidding the jobs and stuff like that, to be able to put a $18,000 cost savings on the table compared to the others, that could help you win the business. So it's a big step. How to identify the customer. It's more where the customer are in some of our accessories. Here is our approved DragonSkin accessories. Our clamps are required every 12 feet. They were UL 2196 certified, so that means they can withstand 2 hours of 1850 degrees. We have connectorization tools, we have heat shrink, and these are our connectors that are there. And oh, someone's hand's going up. No, I know everyone's going to ask the question, can you use JMA connectors on this? And the answer is right now, no, because we don't know the performance on those. We had a DO2 series of DragonSkin cable. So that's how come it's not listed here. We don't want to have any products that had PIM issues. So we don't know how a JMA connector would work. So at this point, we say the approved solution is RFS connectors. Real quick, a high-level picture of a public safety network. As you can see, there's the public safety donor site. It comes in through the donor antenna. It'll come down to a surge protector. Note that DragonSkin is not outdoor certified. It's only used for inside, so you'll have to get a outdoor rated coax cable from the donor antenna to the surge protector. Then the surge protector to the BDA is either right there next to it. It could be on the bottom floor, but that would be a 2-hour solution, also called the backbone or distribution is some of the new ways of phrasing it. In this picture, you can see that you have the 2-hour burn cable. DragonSkin would go down to 2-hour rated boxes and then feed into the horizontal section of the build. And this is where you would have your plenum cable with standard DAS antennas that you're used to in this industry. Here's the list of RFS products that are good for you in this, that are approved to be used in a public safety network. Some questions and answers. Are we accepting orders? Yes, Tally's accepting orders. Tally has it in stock and ready for you. Is there a customer sampling plan available? Yes, please reach out to Tally and RFS. We'll take care of you on a case-by-case basis. Please note that we want to work with everyone, and everyone's going to be asking for it, so we're trying to make sure we meet everyone's needs. Is this cable patented? Yes, the DragonSkin name and logo have been trademarked. Here's one of my fun questions. We have to put this in here. Can DragonSkin be sold and shipped anywhere in the USA? The answer is no. If you're in China and you say DragonSkin is going to offend somebody, we don't want to do that. So please, if you're in China, do not try to sell it as DragonSkin. Call it something else. Honestly, I don't get credit for any sales in China, so just keep it something different. We do have VEX files for DragonSkin. DragonSkin can be used in conduit. We are certified as a standalone solution, and we are going back to UL to get an actual certification of the CIC, Circuit Integrity Conduit solution, and that will be happening here in the 1st of July, I understand. There is an MSRP of 135, and DragonSkin will be palletized on our reel. Let's talk about engineering. Real quick, we're proud to say that the first install of DragonSkin has occurred. It's been occurred, and it was used in the situation where they forgot to put a run between the BDA and the surge protection. So what they were able to do was use DragonSkin and install it between the two. They came right off the surge protector, pulled it through to the ICA cable. If you look here in this picture, this is DragonSkin. You can see the basic size of it, and then you can see our plenum cable. Very similar in size and shape. That makes it easy and nice to work with. The other piece of the puzzle is that this piece of the job only took them a couple 2 to 3 hours to do the install, which if they would have had to do this run, which was about 80 feet, and do the wrapping and everything, it would have been a couple-day project to have gotten it done. Attenuation calculations. I know we got a lot of engineers on here. This is the information that was shared on the data sheets that you can get from DragonSkin. And what it basically states is when there is a fire, there is a .185 of attenuation on the cable. Let's take a look at what we're talking about here. 1850 degrees is equal to jet fuel burning. We all know why that standard came into effect. So 1850 degrees is that. 1500 degrees is gasoline burning, and 1100 degrees is standard combustible materials in the building. So what we're showing you here is the absolute worst scenario, jet fuel burning for 2 hours and a 10-foot section. And what they did is they looked at the RSL requirements, and they saw that after the burn, they still met the requirements. So the next column here, we did it with 30 feet. We had the additional attenuation that was increased by the fire, and they measured it and still saw that it met the RSL requirements. And then we did it with 50 feet and did the same calculations and showed that it was. What we did here on the next slides, because I'm not the engineer, I'm more of a salesman, we had to put it in the pictures how we understand it best. What we did here is took a current existing IB wave file that we had on our files. This is a 10-story building that was not designed for DragonSkin or anything like that. It was a standard public safety venue that we did the install for back in the past, last year I believe it was. And what we did is we took the IB wave predictions, and then we found the worst location in the entire 10-floor building. So this is a 10-story building, and the worst location was this spot here. And the estimated signal strength there was a neg 84.53. So standing here with DragonSkin sitting in a normal situation, that's where we would be at. So we said, let's take the 10 feet of cable burn, add the additional attenuation at the head-in unit, and then take a reading at this same spot right here. So you can see we're at neg 86, well below the neg 95 that our parameters are looking for. So we took it to the next step, and we said, let's go for 30 feet. So with 30 feet on fire at 1850 degrees, you would have an increased attenuation of 8.99 that we added to the head-in unit. So you can see that, yes, the signal is decreasing across the network, but we're still good. We're still at neg 90. All right, let's step to the next one. What we did is 50 feet. So in a vertical run of a 10-story building, basically we're saying that half of the building's on fire with jet fuel at 1850 degrees. Pretty much the worst case scenario you'd want to be in. But if you still look at the worst location in this building, we are at neg 93, under the neg 93 requirements. So we look good. Questions and answers? I'll hold on for a second, see if I hear anybody. No, I think we're looking good. Please do us a favor, reach out to your Tally sales representatives at the numbers shown here. They will help you, and DragonSkin is ready for you tomorrow. Thank you.